This is the story of Abraham, a man who trusted God even when it didn't make sense. Abraham lived in a place called Ur. He had a family, a home, and a comfortable life. But one day, everything changed. God spoke to Abraham. "Leave your country, your people, and your father's house, and go to the land I will show you." God made a promise. "I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you, and through you, all people on earth will be blessed." Abraham was already old. He had no children, but still, he obeyed. He left everything behind and began a journey into the unknown. Abraham traveled with his wife Sarah and his nephew Lot. They moved from place to place, trusting God to guide them. Years passed, still no child, still no fulfillment of the promise. But God spoke again. "Look up at the sky and count the stars if you can. So shall your offspring be." Abraham looked at the countless stars, and he believed. God counted his faith as righteousness. But time kept passing, and Sarah grew impatient. She suggested that Abraham have a child through her servant Hagar. Abraham agreed. Soon, Hagar gave birth to a son named Ishmael. But this was not the promise God had spoken. Years later, God appeared again. By now, Abraham was nearly 100 years old. Sarah was very old too. But God said, "Sarah will have a son." Sarah laughed. "How can this be? I am too old." But God replied, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" At the appointed time, Sarah gave birth to a son. They named him Isaac, which means laughter. God had kept his promise. But Abraham's faith would be tested one more time. One day, God said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a sacrifice." This was the son of promise, the miracle child. Yet Abraham obeyed. Early the next morning, he set out with Isaac. They climbed the mountain together. Isaac asked, "Father, we have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham replied, "God himself will provide the lamb." When they reached the place, Abraham built an altar and prepared to offer his son. At the very moment he raised the knife, a voice called from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy." God had seen his faith. Nearby, a ram was caught in a bush. God had provided a sacrifice. Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." God spoke again, "Because you have obeyed me, I will surely bless you. Your descendants will be as numerous as the stars, and through your offspring all nations will be blessed." Abraham's story is a story of faith. He didn't always understand. He didn't always get it right, but he trusted God. Even when the path was unclear, even when the promise seemed impossible, even when the cost was great. And because of his faith, God used Abraham to change the world. This story reminds us, faith is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting the one who does. When God calls you, will you follow? When the promise seems delayed, will you still believe? And when your faith is tested, will you trust him completely? Because just like Abraham, God has a plan, and he always keeps his promises.